Your teeth are sending you a huge thank you for clicking on this video. Why, you ask? Because I'm about to share some eye-opening insights that will inspire you to prioritize your oral hygiene like never before. And how am I going to do that? Well, I have scoured the internet to find the most compelling and relevant information to both scare and motivate you into making those healthy habits stick. So stick around, your teeth will be glad that you did. You don't want to see them sad, do you? Let's start with a very brief history about the toothbrush itself, which will help us appreciate how incredibly convenient dental care has become today. Before the invention of the toothbrush as we know it, people relied on chew sticks, which are twigs with frayed ends that serve dual purposes, brushing teeth and acting as toothpicks. The earliest evidence of chew sticks can be traced back to Sumer in southern Mesopotamia around 3500 BC and also found in an Egyptian tomb from 3000 BC and Chinese records dating to 1600 BC. To my surprise, chew sticks are still used today, particularly in parts of Africa and the Islamic world, where they are known as miswak. The first bristle toothbrush, resembling the kind we use today, originated in China during the Tang Dynasty. These early brushes were made with hog bristles. Still in China, another intriguing example from the Song Dynasty even featured handles crafted from tiger bones. When Europeans were introduced to these hog bristles toothbrushes, they found them too stiff and preferred the softer alternatives made from horsehair. Mass-produced toothbrushes using either horsehair or boar bristles continued to be imported to Britain from China until the mid-20th century. One of these historical brushes was reportedly used by none other than Napoleon Bonaparte. It was not until 1780 when an innovative ex-prisoner turned businessman named William Addis first mass-produced toothbrushes in the UK. Pig bristles were used for cheaper toothbrushes and badger hair for the more pricey one. However, these animal bristle brushes had their drawbacks. They retained bacteria, dried inefficiently, and often lost bristles. A breakthrough came in 1938 when DuPont replaced bone handles with celluloid and animal bristles with synthetic fibers like nylon, then followed by the invention of the first electric toothbrush named the Broxodont, which emerged from Switzerland in 1954. Then in 1977, Johnson & Johnson revolutionized the toothbrush market with the introduction of the Reach toothbrush, featuring an angled head designed to clean hard-to-reach back teeth. Putting history aside, let's talk about the challenge of forming new habits or breaking old ones, especially when it comes to something as fundamental as brushing our teeth regularly. This task is often far from easy, and it certainly requires time and persistence. One of the reasons habits formation is so challenging is that we are literally trying to rewire our brains in the process. Habits can be likened to riverbeds. A well-established river has carved a deep channel, and water is likely to consistently flow in that direction. Just like the water follows a riverbed, our habits guide our behaviors along familiar routes. An interesting study suggests that habits take anywhere from 18 to 254 days to form, with an average of about 66 days. With that in mind, let's dive into some chilling stories and first-hand accounts about the consequences of poor dental hygiene. These narratives serve as a grim reminder of what can happen when we neglect our teeth. Our first story comes from a Reddit user who unfortunately struggled to establish a regular hygiene routine, a challenge made even tougher by their battles with mental health. The original poster, or OP for short, had faced the harsh reality of 11 major cavities. Yet, despite this wake-up call, he found himself slipping back into old habits just a few months later and asked for some advice. Another user chimed in with a comment designed to jolt the OP into action. This comment laid out a series of alarming consequences: financial burdens, professional setbacks, and various health risks that could arise from neglecting oral hygiene. This striking warning served not just as a wake-up call but also as a powerful urge for the OP to take his dental care seriously. Another user shared their personal testimony, recounting a time when a toothache was the worst pain they had ever endured. Another agonizing story comes from a different user who, unfortunately, never developed a habit of brushing their teeth. This neglect was amplified by struggles with mental health, creating a perfect storm for dental disaster. The OP experienced excruciating pain in one of their upper teeth, and even the simplest acts like eating something too hot or too cold or applying any pressure felt like an insurmountable agony. It turned out this relentless pain was due to a cavity so severe it had created a gaping black hole in the tooth. The result, a root canal and a complete tooth replacement. The OP vividly described this ordeal as the worst pain they had ever experienced in their life. To make matters worse, they ultimately ended up with a staggering total of 18 cavities. Despite everything they'd gone through, their commitment to improving their dental hygiene remained lacking, and their feelings were beginning to pop out. In another brief yet startling testimony, a different user responded to the question, "What is the worst physical pain you have ever experienced?" Without hesitation, they simply stated tooth infection, beat out broken bones by a good margin. Their candid comparison highlighted just how excruciating and debilitating dental pain can be, leaving a lasting impression on anyone who has ever faced that kind of torment. On the financial front, one user candidly revealed that they had spent thousands of dollars trying to repair the damage caused by neglecting their oral health. Another shared their staggering experience, noting that they have accumulated a staggering $15,000 in dental costs. This hefty bill included 4 root canals, 4 crowns, and a post to salvage a tooth that had crumbled. Their stories serve as a harsh reminder of the high cost, both financially and physically, of overlooking dental care. Other users shared their perspective, emphasizing the crucial role that diet plays in maintaining oral hygiene. They noted that a poor diet, particularly one high in sugary foods and drinks, can ruin our teeth. Have you or someone you know ever faced similar unfortunate circumstances? Share your experiences in the comments below. Now that we have left those scary stories behind, let's focus on something more uplifting. Let's delve into various solutions for maintaining dental health, inspired by people from all around the internet. First off, this user suggests that we should pay closer attention to the sensations in our mouths. If we start to notice that our mouths feel dirty and recognize how much we prefer the feeling of clean teeth, it can make the act of brushing our teeth feel much more appealing and effortless. So, tip number 1 would be to pay closer attention to the sensations in our mouths. Next, let's hear from another user who emphasizes the importance of self-love and self-care. They assert that we should prioritize caring for ourselves because ultimately no one else will do it for us. Tip number 2. Embracing self-love is essential for effective self-care. Next, let's turn our attention to a user who found a unique way to stay motivated. They began rewarding themselves for sticking to positive habits, in this case brushing their teeth. Tip number 3. Embrace the power of self-reward to fuel your motivation. Another compelling perspective comes from a user who feared the prospect of losing their teeth in their 30s and 40s, leaving them unable to enjoy their favorite foods. This daunting reality serves as a powerful motivator for them to take their dental hygiene seriously. Tip number 4. Consider the future consequences of skipping your brushing routine. Next, this user offers an intriguing suggestion: why not brush your teeth while you tackle other activities? In a similar spirit, another user turns this mundane task into a fun experience by playing a lively song and dancing along while they brush. Yet another example comes from a user who puts on their earbuds and tunes into an engaging podcast or watching YouTube during their brushing session. Tip number 5. make your brushing session fun with multitasking. Another user suggests to brush teeth in the shower. There's quite a number of users that's suggesting this too, so tip number 6, do it in the shower. Next, we hear from a user who offers a refreshing tip. Try experimenting with different toothpaste flavors to break the monotony of your routine. Tip number 7, try different toothpaste flavors. Next up, we have a user who shared an inspiring story about successfully building a new habit using a physical calendar. Tip number 8, use physical calendar to build new habits. Next, we hear from a successful user who transformed their dental hygiene routine by investing in an electric toothbrush. Tip number 9, use electric toothbrush. Next, we have a user who shares an insightful tip. Keeping a cup of water, mouthwash, and a toothbrush right by the bed. This simple yet effective strategy can be especially helpful for those struggling with depression, as it removes the barriers to practicing good oral hygiene. Tip number 10, on a challenging day, brush teeth in bed. Lastly, we have a compelling insight from a user whose account has sadly been deleted. They advocated for the value of therapy in addressing the challenges some people face with maintaining oral hygiene. Their suggestion highlights the importance of delving into the underlying reasons that make this routine difficult, all while encouraging individuals to experiment with different methods to find what resonates with them. Tip number 11, consider going to therapy. Also, it is worth mentioning the importance of being cautious about over-brushing your teeth, as doing so can wear down your enamel. Additionally, I recently discovered the significance of flossing, something I had never practiced until I started making this video. Now, I'm actively working to incorporate it into my daily routine. Do you have any additional tips that haven't been mentioned? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Before I wrap up this video, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Who knows, you might just increase your chances of receiving a gift from Tooth Fairy, though in this case, the Tooth Fairy is a broke YouTuber who's eager to share his future videos with you. Anyway, in conclusion, we have explored the fascinating evolution of the toothbrush, from its humble beginnings as chew sticks to the high-tech electric models we use today. We have also discussed some eye-opening stories illustrating the consequences of neglecting our dental hygiene and the valuable lessons that can be learned from those experiences. To end on a positive note, we examined some strategies to help us cultivate and maintain good oral hygiene habits, from being more attuned to the sensations in our mouth and incorporating self-rewards to making brushing sessions fun. There are many ways to take our dental care seriously. And here we are at the end of this video. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Do not forget to brush your teeth before going to bed. Speaking of sleep, be sure to check out my previous video where we explore the fascinating connections between our sleep habits and personality. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead.